I do want to get over to the incident between Kyle Lowry and the Warriors investor Mark Stevens. This was in the fourth quarter. We all saw it, right? Lowry spills into the front row. And take a look at the video here, because Stevens is in the blue shirt. And he actually, after Lowry comes in, and I know when he comes in, everyone's like, oh, God, whatever. But he actually pushes Kyle in the shoulder, right? And that prompted an ejection of Stevens, the fan. And here's more from Lowry talking about why he was so upset.
That fan, there's no place in him for that. You know, he had no reason to touch me. He had no reason to reach over 2 seats and then say some vulgar language to me. There's no place for people like that in our league. And, you know, hopefully he never comes back to an NBA game.
All right, so here's the Warriors statement from today. Mr. Stevens' behavior last night did not reflect the high standards that we hope to exemplify as an organization. We're extremely disappointed in his actions, and along with Mr. Stevens, offer our sincere apology to Kyle Lowry and the Raptors for this unfortunate misconduct. There's no place for such interaction between the fans or anyone and players at an NBA game. He will not be in attendance at any of the remaining 2019 NBA Finals games. Now, I posted that statement on Twitter, guys. LeBron James actually replied to that. His quote was, okay, cool, but it's still not enough. They did exactly only really what they had to do, get in front of it before anyone else. And plus, there's only 4 games left, 2 max in Golden State. He wants more. I got texts from half a dozen players, guys, this morning saying they got to do something. This is a big deal. And Michelle Roberts came out with a statement, the head of the Players Union, and she said that just because Stevens is a partial owner, a minority investor in the Warriors,
make it right.
She still expects the NBA to stick to what they said is a zero-tolerance policy of not letting fans push, touch, or injure any players. I actually think that because I think she's right, but kind of in the opposite way. It's not that just because Stevens is a Warrior investor, he should get off lighter than a normal fan.
Right.
I actually think the punishment should be more significant. He's a representative of that organization, right?
Right.
Don't you think that that's something that should matter even more?
Yeah, because Rachel, they pick on players for the littlest stuff. Like, we get suspended for saying stuff to the referees. You know, if we say something to a fan, we get suspended. You know, just through emotions of a game. So stuff like this, you have to take it serious, because, like I always say, he wouldn't push Kyle in the grocery store or at the liquor store if he seen him. he wouldn't touch him.
Of course not.
He'll be asking for his autograph.
Yes.
That's
right.
Yeah.
Kyle easily acts different and pushes the guy back. It's all over the news. He's getting suspended. We're talking about Kyle. You know what I mean?
He would have gotten suspended.
It's not fair. So they have to get in front of, and that's why I love LeBron so much, because you don't have too many guys that's been the face of the league that's going to jump out there and speak up for the things that he needs to speak up for involving the players. I love it, and he's exactly right. They did what they were supposed to do. You're going to make that publicly correct statement. They did that, but you got to do more than that.
And then here's the thing to add to that. It had nothing to do with him.
Right.
So, exactly. So I applaud Kyle, first of all, for being able to hold restraint, because I mean he understood what level he's on. Mm-hmm. This is for a lot of marbles.
Right.
Regular season, it could end up different. You know what I'm saying? It ends up different,
mm-hmm.
And now we're talking about, why did Kyle, retaliate, and how come he couldn't hold himself back? Well, first of all, it had nothing to do with him.
Right.
And do we know what he said to him?
But that's my thing too. People say, "Well, I want to know what he said." At that point, when somebody pushed me for no reason, I don't care what you say, Ray. It don't matter what you said. You've been disrespectful.
It had nothing to do with you anyway.
Right. Absolutely. And by the way, I'm not a huge believer in the concept of a slippery slope, but I will say there has to be a hardcore line. It can't be like, oh, he only shoved him a little bit, or oh, he only touched him this way. Zero. You cannot touch at all. Right. There cannot be an environment where players who are playing so close to these fans feel like their physical safety is an issue. And Stephen, you had this issue happen to you when you were playing for the Pacers in Detroit. So, don't worry, we're not going to show the video.
I don't mind.
The Malice at the Palace, but
still, I mean, we're seeing this with a lot of players now.
But I will say that's when a fan throws something at you or says something to you or physically gets in your space, you guys felt in the moment.
Rach, we take a lot of credit for not messing up that year and not winning a championship, but that fan has to take a lot of credit too, because Ron restrained himself. And once a beer or a cup comes in any grown man's face,
anybody,
you will retaliate. So,
Yes.
like I said, I take blame for that, but that fan had a lot to do with it. And fans can incite something in a game like that, and it can get out of hand.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that's what we're seeing. We're seeing a lot of this now, and it's time for. I feel the NBA or someone has to step in and protect the players because, like he said, as soon as we cross the line into the stands to the fans, we're in the wrong.
Right.
Our job's at jeopardy.
Yes, but why?
Right.
There's a reason why. You're not going to just see players going in the stands just because.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So that's the thing, and that just needs to be looked at.
We don't do it because the fight is fixed. Why go in the stands and fight somebody I know I can beat up?
And trust me, he can't.